Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Belle and this is Histories with Me. So I know it's been like a minute since I did another video, but sometimes life just has to be lived like off camera. So lately I have been obsessed with this YouTube channel called Ghost Town Living, and I basically binge watched the whole, well, I guess it's a year this guy has been doing this channel in like 3 days. Like, I am obsessed. But then literally the other day while I was actually filming a different video, I saw a woman on YouTube do a kind of like a video criticizing him or this channel, and it just got me thinking about a few things. And so today I kind of want to put my 5 cents in about Ghost Town Living. So today's video is kind of spontaneous because I literally just got the idea to talk about this from seeing this other woman's video, and I am not here to stir up any shit. I just want to comment on a few things that I've seen happening, and my, I guess, professional opinion about it, being an archaeologist and having extensive interest in history as well, obviously. Okay, so first things first, the channel I'm talking about is called Ghost Town Living, and it's apparently kind of big right now, and it is made by this guy called Rant, who has purchased, I guess together with friends or sponsors, this old mining town, a so-called ghost town, a couple of hours outside of LA, I think. And he is, since Corona broke out for real over there, he has basically been living there by himself with some other people coming to visit every now and then. And his goal is sort of to turn it into a place where people could come and stay and get the full experience of this old mining town. And so he is basically trying to preserve and rebuild this old town. So this town has been privately owned before, I think for like a lot of years, but at least since the 80s. And it has partially been well preserved, I guess, and partially it's, well, fallen prey to time, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, that is a little bit about what the channel is about. And some of the criticism I heard was against his personality, so the guy that has the channel, and what type of person he is. And I just kind of feel like, I mean, I'm very new to YouTube, right? But I kind of feel like, I mean, you can't be friends with everyone, right? And I think the same goes for making videos and stuff. And if some people don't like you or feel like you are a bad person, I mean, sure, not everybody likes everything or everybody, and that is completely fine. I don't know how I feel about attacking that on a video, but that's really none of my business. I do not know this guy. I just think that he is funny to watch, and I think his videos are both funny and interesting, sometimes even a little bit exciting. And yeah, I guess that's the only thing I want to say about that. So right in the beginning, when he had moved into this town, apparently something pretty bad happened. So one of the main attractions, one of the most famous buildings in the town, had burned down. There's also one of the things that was criticized, whether he did it for insurance money or whatever. And obviously, I mean, we don't know. I don't know. My thought on that is, well, that sucks. That is really shitty. But at the same time, like, the town had been previously owned privately in the 80s. Some things had obviously been done. There was some type of electricity. then it wasn't like, what should we say, used for a long time, and then somebody new comes in and starts using the electricity that is there, obviously being told, yes, there is electricity, and you think, yeah, it should be okay, at least because it's been sitting there for so long, and obviously there was something that wasn't all right. And I don't think blame should necessarily be put on anyone there. It is a super sucky situation, right? But yeah, I think that is all you can say about that. It's really sucky. It was a beautiful piece of history that disappeared. But on that note, what I think is cool, however, is how Brent chose to go forward with that situation. He then chooses to, of course, rebuild this building. It's a type of hotel building, and he chooses to do that obviously with wood and materials that he finds around the town on his property that belong to the same era. So we're talking 1800s, when the mining town was first established, but it did exist and was used between mid to end 1800s, I think, and then to early to mid 19. So what it seems like he chose to do, or how he has chosen to proceed, is to use materials from buildings that are on his property and that belong to the same era as the hotel, but are not in the immediate center of town. Old shacks and houses that there is no way to really rebuild, so he chooses to use that material to rebuild the hotel that had burned down. And he also wants to incorporate and reuse a lot of the materials that he has found from, like, or been able to salvage from the fire, which I think is really cool, because it is a nice way to reuse history. Obviously, a lot of stuff, a lot of history was lost in that building, but he has documented it on video, so we know what was there. And that part, I guess, as much as the artifacts are lost, there is still video material, so there is a knowledge of what was once there, right? So I think I don't think it's our place to place blame on anyone. I think what he is doing to try and fix the situation is really cool. I mean, he's even trying to sift every piece of, every like scoop of dirt he picks up, so that nothing that didn't burn up gets lost, like bottles and but they have cigarette tins and all of these things. So he sifts all the material and saves whatever he can, which is, I mean, pretty cool in my opinion. Right? And now I've touched on this next point a little bit already, but the last piece of the criticism where I kind of have an opinion about it, I suppose I could say, is the fact that he is being criticized for the way he is handling this town and his end goal with it. So he wants to rebuild it. He is repurposing a lot of the materials from around there to rebuild other buildings that are more central, and in the end, if I understand it correctly, he wants to make it, I mean, I guess a tourist attraction, but just a place where people can come and stay and experience this old mining town the way it kind of was in the end of the 1800s. I actually think that's really cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. In my professional opinion, I mean, look at the Forum Romanum in Rome. People can walk around in there as much as they please up until a certain point in time. I mean, I actually think it was inhabited. There were animals running all over it. It is still preserved. The history is still there. And even the buildings that have been taken down, you have found pieces of them, like bricks and stuff, incorporated in other houses to fix those up. And they were always stamped, as are, by the way, a lot of the planks and stuff in Cerro Gordo, this mining town. So you actually know the origin and the year from where they came. So I really don't see a harm in it. I don't think he is ruining the town. I mean, there are other ghost towns. They use something called arrested decay, I think it's called, where they basically just keep the town and let it fall apart over time the way it would normally do if it hadn't been found. I think that is a little bit of a shame. I think preserving history is really important. I do not see a problem with using original materials to rebuild. I don't see a problem with having people come there and experience it. I actually think that is really cool. I mean, you go to Pompeii, sorry, all my examples are classical archaeology, that's what I know best, but like you go to Pompeii, you can walk around almost the entire town. Obviously there's a lot of houses that you're as a tourist are not allowed to go into that maybe us as archaeologists can come into, but you can still walk around in there. Maybe you shouldn't live in there, right? But it's being preserved, but it is also open to the public. And if a few houses are being fixed up to live in, and maybe the later houses, yeah, no, I stand by my previous statement. I think it's really cool. I think it is a big effort, and I think it's a good effort, because you should hold on and learn from your history. Now, as I understand it, Rand was not a carpenter or anything when he went up there, so he's, I guess, had a lot of trial and error, and he has worked hard to learn the different techniques of building. But you can see in his videos he actually has professionals come in and help him out and show him the ropes with some of this stuff, and I don't think there's a problem with that either for me. I think it's super cool. He wants to preserve Cerro Gordo, this fantastic piece of American history, and I mean, this town is kind of the reason why LA became so big, right? That is one of the entire reasons, and still this town has gotten or become sort of forgotten, and it's commendable that somebody wants to wake that to life again. And every single thing that he finds, basically he saves, he stores, he puts in the little museum he's built up there. He has such reverence for every little piece of history that he finds, every little cigarette pack that there were so many of, every bottle. I mean, as he keeps saying as well, he wants to find blue jeans or that really rare whiskey bottle, because it's cool. I mean, they're worth a lot of money, but he doesn't want to sell it. He wants to keep it for his museum to show a piece of history. And I mean, that is how I would go about it too. Now, of course, you can maybe see things that you wouldn't do in the same way, or criticize someone for what they're doing, and if they're not a professional in something and stuff. But I mean, YouTube is an open platform. It is for anybody to show the things they're doing, and he is trying. He's doing something very cool. I think it's awesome. I've said that a million times already, but I'm very excited about this channel. Obviously, if I were the one to get to buy a town like that, I would probably go about it differently. But that is not to say that I think he's doing anything wrong. I think he should be very careful about climbing around in old mines by himself, because that's very dangerous. But if you have someone with you, or you know, people that can tell you how to do things, that might be okay. It's no more than taking your own life into your own hands. And he does always warn that you shouldn't do this, or like, kids don't do this at home, kind of, you know. I think it's historically really interesting. I will not claim to know a lot about mining towns and American history. Maybe that's why I find the channel so interesting. I mean, I'm also a huge fan of the Red Dead Redemption games. Cowboys were always really cool to me when I was a kid. also always wanted to marry either a cowboy or a Native American. That might not sound politically correct, but when you're like 7. So I find it very informative and very interesting. I really recommend to watch the channel because it is entertaining, but don't take it as a how-to guide. I think that will be the one warning that I would put out there, because everybody does shit differently. This is not a school channel or a school program. It is this one guy that makes beautiful videos, funny videos, and shares his personal process with his town that he has actually purchased. And if people have an issue with that, you know, then make it a historic landmark and only put archaeologists in there, but then nobody will be able to generally take part in that history in a very, very long time. So it's kind of a pros and cons thing, I think. Anyway, I guess that is maybe even my 10 cents on this. I totally recommend you guys watch it. It's called Ghost Town Living. It is about Cerro Gordo, mining town from 1800 and something. Yeah, I mean, just make up your own mind about it. Have your own opinions. The only thing I think I would ask, and I think anybody who does this, films videos and whatever, is just, I mean, don't be rude. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but just don't be rude about it. Being a troll and hating on other people is just a waste of energy, if you ask me. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching me ramble on for however long this took, and I don't know if you get anything out of it. I just really felt like I wanted to put my 5 cents in on the subject, so I've done that. I hope to see you guys again soon for my next video. I promise I will try and make it a little bit sooner. And if you like this, let me know, and like and subscribe, and well, you guys know the drill, and I will see you soon. Bye.